When we're talking about your goals, you want to have them like as smart as possible. What does SMART goals actually mean? SMART means S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, and T for time bound. As we're talking about like short term goals, like ones you can achieve in a year, you want to get as really as specific as possible. You can dream big, and please do so, but more for the long term goals or the medium term goals, but not really for the short term goals. You want something you can actually accomplish. Therefore, we look at these SMART kind of goals. So, what does it actually mean? In the following, we will go into each of the sections in a bit more detail. Specific, for example, does mean when defining a goal, you want to get as specific as possible. You do not want to say, I want to lose weight. You would rather want to say, I want to lose 10 kilogram by date exact, or on the 1st of July, or on the 31st of December, whatever it might be when you're starting over your year. Or I would like to use 10 centimeter on my waist. When we talk about measurable goals, you want to ensure that you track your measure, that you actually have the tools in place to actually know whether you're, on a good process, whether you're making any process at all, so that you actually know how to measure and track your results. In our example of losing 10 kilogram in a year, this could be something like I will lose 0.85 kilogram per month, and I'm going to measure my success by knowing my starting weight and by using a scale. So you actually, with a starting weight, you define your starting point, which means you have a definite measure where you start so that you actually really know when you're making any progress or not, or when you're maybe stagnation, um, or when you maybe even like gain some weight. So you really want to get as specific as possible and measure as real as possible. So you do not fake or anything. Achievable goals. Is losing 850 gram per month a realistic and achievable goal? You can figure this out by, for example, checking data of people who already achieved the goal. What is a what is your normal activity level? How many calories do you take in? Do you have a job where you actually, work really hard and you maybe need to just have more food? Maybe you can even lose a bit more weight then. Whatever it might be. So you really want to get the data to ensure or to define whether your goal is achievable or not. Relevant. Sometimes this R is translated as realistic, but as we already measured the realistic bits with the achievable, we go for the relevant bits as a definition. Therefore, it makes a lot more sense as it's directly tied to your why. This does mean, is this goal relevant for you? Does this goal align with the why? The reason why you want to achieve this goal. If it's not your goal, or if it's just a goal that someone told you you should have, or you should lose some weight, or you should get a better job, whatever it might be, if there's not really an inner drive, an inner motivation for you to really get this goal, to realize the goal and to make it a real kind of thing, it probably will be really, really hard for you to achieve it. So you really want to figure out, is this goal really relevant for you, for me? Does it matter? Time bound. You will want to set yourself a deadline by when you want to achieve your goal. When we speak about New Year's resolutions, we might usually, have a time bound from a year where we actually start looking from the 1st of January till the 31st of December, so that it's actually a short term goal, which means I will lose 10 kilogram weight in a year, which means 365 days starting now or on the 1st of January or wherever you really set your goal. A smart example would be, I want to lose 10 kilogram in a year until the 23rd of December 2017 with method XY. Put in whatever you would like to. This means I will lose 850 gram a month through measuring my calorie intake and regular exercising 4 times a week. for 20 minutes at least. I will track my progress every third of a month with a scale so that you actually really hold yourself accountable to your defined SMART measures or your SMART indicators of your goal. Sometimes when we want to take things a step further, we can rather go for a we can go for a smarter goal, which means we add to the existing parameters of SMART an E and an R. The E would be evaluate constantly. This means you can, get going for example, losing some weight, but you might not just want to lose some weight in the first year and then lose track, but maybe you really want to stick to a healthy lifestyle, for example. The R would be review till mastery. This means to really figure out the best way to attain sustainable results and to get knowledgeable in doing so, to really achieve the highest level of not just achieving your goal, but really mastering it. A smarter example would be, it's actually the same like before, and then added on, after I have achieved my weight loss goal, I will keep a healthy lifestyle, track my weight, and exercise regularly with a training plan. Please feel free to now get into some exercise and really define your SMART or smarter goals so that you really, get into the habit of being really precise and getting crystal clear on what you want to achieve so that you know how you can keep yourself accountable.